Hello there everybody and welcome into the Math Grape channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my top 5 Minecraft servers for 2022. So our first server on the list, this is number 5. This server is Purple Prison. Basically, there's a whole bunch of mines lettered A through Z, and you basically mine through them. Once you get enough money from selling your blocks that you've mined, you can rank up to the next level. Now, this server is not only mines, but there's also other items and crates and things like that to help you mine faster, more efficiently, and also to help you get more money. There's also gambling, if you want to go ahead and do that as well. And once you get to the end, there's also some very nice end game things as well. There's also an auction house where you can sell your items. And yeah, other than that, this server is really cool. I totally suggest you come check it out. This one is number 5 on the list only because sometimes it can get a bit boring, especially on the later levels when it takes a lot of money to level up. Sometimes it can take a long time. Now our next server is number 4 on the list. This is Zero Minr. So this server is mostly known for its parkour. As you can see, if I come over to the parkour zone, there is just a ton of maps. Here they are. So the good thing about this server is that not only are there just a ton of different maps, but they're organized by level. For example, this one is like very easy, and as we work our way back here, they get to more difficult till you get to the extreme ones in the back. Now, another thing is that there's not only parkour, but there's also other modes as well. If I head back to the lobby here, you'll see that there's not only parkour, but also adventure maps that you can play. There's also different just puzzles in general, and mazes. So for example, if I head over to the mazes area, you'll see that there's just a whole bunch of mazes over here. Now I can't actually record any of these mazes, but I can still show you. They're organized by level, and they're really cool. So I would totally suggest coming and checking out this server. Again, parkour, mazes, puzzles, and adventure maps. Now just a side note, this server is pretty small. There's only about 20 people playing at any given time. So our next server on the list, this is number 3, and it is MCHub. So MCHub basically has 4 different game modes that you can choose from. The first one is just normal survival. This is just plain old survival if you just want that normal experience. We also have Skyblock and Prison, which are the 2 main game modes. And then over here we also have Pixelmon. So we're going to go ahead and start off with Pixelmon. Pixelmon is a game mode very similar to many of the Pokemon games where you go around, battle trainers, capture Pokemon, and do all of those things. The only problem with Pixelmon is that there isn't really a defined guide. Like, I can't find it in the game, and I haven't found any online either. If you know a guide to Pixelmon, please let me know. And I have played in it a little before without understanding much of how it works. But moving on to the 2 main game modes, this is Prison and Skyblock. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys Prison first. Oh yeah, just so you know, each game mode will reset every 2 months or so, and with each reset comes a new season, and with each new season comes some new features. Unlike Purple Prison, where there's a whole bunch of community mines, you actually get your own mine. You can also go and visit other people's mines. Like if I go to the mine manager, I can just go to this person's mine, and then I can mine his blocks and sell them for more profit. There's also cities where you can generate resources to help you build certain things. I can head over and make him start grinding. There we go. And then he'll collect those materials, and once you collect enough materials, you can come over to the blacksmith and he can craft certain items for you. Also in the city, we have robots, which are basically like an AFK or a passive way to make money. By the way, speaking of money, there is a very advanced economy here. First of all, there are 2 different types of currency, e-tokens and beacons. There's an auction house where you can sell things. Of course, there's also categories. And of course, you can also trade with other players as well. There's also crates. Let me head over to crates. If you vote every day, you'll get the vote crate, and then there's a whole bunch of other different kinds as well. So that is prisons. If we move over to the other side in Skyblock, it's a little bit more of a free experience. So some features of Skyblock, we also have 2 different currencies, credits and shards. There's a whole bunch of different robots to help you earn money passively. There's also a PvE area, which is a little bit different than some other servers, which basically allows you to kill enemies or entities to get material. So if I head over here, this is a new season for me, but if I head over here, you can see that there's spiders, there's probably wither skeletons too. If you take a look at, there are different ranks: Overlord, Legend, Sky God, and those things can be bought in the coin shop, and coins have to be purchased with real life money. But the interesting thing with coins is that you can also get coins from in-game, so you don't have to get coins from buying them. You could also get coins by trading with other people, which I've gotten a couple coins that way, and you can also get them by just progressing through the battle pass or by voting. So in the battle pass here, you'll see as you progress, let's see, there is 50 gold coins there at tier 8. 90 votes, then you have 500 gold coins, and also, so yes, there are other ways to get ranks other than having to buy them, which I think is a really important feature. Also, Skyblock doesn't have a very definitive guide. What I would suggest is just jumping right into it and trying different things out. That's what I had to do, because there isn't like a set way to progress. You kind of have to figure it out by yourself. So our next server is Wynncraft. This is number 2 on the list, and Wynncraft is described as an MMORPG, which is basically a fancy way to say that it is a role-playing game where many people play together. There's quests that you can go on. Okay, so let's start off by talking about the map. Wynncraft, the Wynncraft map is just crazy. Like what you see right here is just a small part of the entire map. I cannot even fathom how long it took to build this. Basically, it's just a really expansive map with a lot of different cities and quests to do, and you unlock certain areas in a sense as you get better and as you increase your combat level. Or the combat level is the main source of progression. So you can see here's all the different quests. You can see I've gotten through a fair bit of quests, but there's still a lot of quests. Now, not only are there quests, but there's also classes and an ability tree. So there is some personalization there. And just to show you how big this map is, this is at map.wynncraft.com. You'll see that I am over here, and this is the city that we're in. And if I zoom out, you can see there is just not only this giant area over here, but a whole giant area over here that I've already kind of progressed through. This is just ginormous. There's also a fairly advanced economy, but the thing about Wynncraft is that money is not the main thing. The main thing is progressing through quests and gaining combat XP for your combat level. Money is just a side thing to help you progress faster. There's a trade market in major cities that can help you to sell your items and maybe commodities that you have. By the way, this trade market is like really great. Not only, like if I were to sell something, let's say I wanted to sell this legendary smasher, it not only recommends a price, but it tells you the highest and lowest sell offers. And so yeah, that is Wynncraft. And our last server, this one is pretty much expected. This is Hypixel. Now Hypixel is the best Minecraft server of all time, I think, for a lot of people. And the reason why it's so popular is because there's just basically any game mode that you can imagine. There's build battle, arcade games, murder mystery, Skyblock, of course, the most popular one. You can see there's 16,000, almost 17,000 people playing right now. Bed Wars and Sky Wars are also really popular. And then, of course, there's a whole bunch of other things too. But, of course, the main game that we're going to talk about is Skyblock. The reason why Skyblock is just so popular is because you can basically do whatever you want to progress. So you can have a private island, and then you can come out to these public islands like the hub. By the way, here's a map to show you all of them. This is the hub. There's also smaller islands around it, which are tailored to specific skills. And then, of course, like here's the end, and then the end game island over here is the Crimson Isle. Or should I say mid to end game. One of my favorite things about Hypixel, or maybe my favorite thing about Hypixel Skyblock, is the economy. This is the bazaar. It's a commodity market for pretty much every item in the game. Not weapons, but more or less, like I was saying, commodities. So all of your farming, all of your mining things, all the things you're going to mine, all of your combat drops. 7 million bones were bought in 7 days, and 27 million bones were sold. And that's just for bones. Unlike in Wynncraft, where the main goal is to progress the quest, this one is mainly just to get more coins. There's also an auction house. The auction house is really cool. So yeah, the auction house is really intricate as well. You can see there's of course different categories. Like if I go to the accessories category, you'll see that there's just a whole bunch of different items in here. There are a ton of people playing Skyblock, so there are a ton of items on auction. And that is all for today's video about my five favorite Minecraft servers of 2022. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you found this video useful and you found some new Minecraft servers to try out. Also, make sure to check the description for Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Reddit links. Also, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.